I was halfway through chopping onions for dinner when my phone vibrated once, a single, harmless buzz that changed everything. The message was breezy, almost affectionate. Just FYI, we put the lake house in your brother's name. He's finally settling down and could use the security. You'll keep handling the payments like usual, yeah? Love you. I set the knife down carefully. My reply took 3 seconds to type. You might want to ask the person whose name is on the loan. Then I turned the phone face down and finished dinner alone. That lake house had been my quiet obsession for 9 years. I'd assumed the mortgage when my parents' fixed incomes couldn't stretch anymore. I'd replaced the dock after the flood, insulated the attic myself, paid for the new septic system when the old one failed. My brother? He showed up for holidays, left dishes in the sink, and always had another, temporary setback that needed family support. I was the anchor, dependable, unquestioned. They'd promised it was all family property. No reason to complicate things with paperwork, Dad had said. Blood is thicker than ink. I nodded because doubting them felt lonelier than paying the bills. The warning signs crept in slowly. Property tax notices stopped coming to me. A neighbor mentioned seeing surveyors and asking who the new owner was. Mom's answers grew vague, laced with quick smiles. My brother posted a sunset photo from the porch, my porch, with the caption "Home Sweet Home." I didn't rage. I documented. A misdirected text thread did the rest. My brother thanking them for making it official at last, followed by a picture of new keys on the kitchen island I'd refinished. Locks changed. My coffee mug missing from its hook. The air left my lungs in one slow exhale. That night, I canceled the auto pay on the mortgage.
No explanación, no confrontación.
The funds rerouted to a holding account while I met with a real estate litigator. The paper trail was meticulous. Statements, wire transfers, contractor invoices, improvement deductions on my taxes. 9 years of contributions that screamed ownership louder than any deed. My attorney laid it out plainly. The transfer violated the mortgage terms. You can't gift encumbered property without lender approval. My payments and improvements established an equitable mortgage and constructive trust. They risked due-on-sale clause enforcement, clouded title, even foreclosure if the bank called the loan. I sent the bank a courtesy packet of evidence. Then I recorded a notice of interest against the property. 48 hours later, my mother's name appeared on my screen, followed by a voicemail that cracked midway through. Sweetheart, there's been a terrible mix-up. Can we talk? We met in neutral territory, a law office downtown with windows overlooking the city they'd once taught me to trust. They sat across the polished table looking smaller than I remembered. My brother drummed his fingers, avoiding eye contact. I opened the binder. Page after page of proof. My name on every payment, every upgrade. I covered it, I said, voice steady. You transferred it unlawfully. Mom reached across the table. I didn't move my hand. Dad talked about intentions and family unity. My brother finally looked up, anger flaring. So you're going to burn everything down over a house?
No, y ensuara.
You already lit the match. I'm just making sure the fire department knows whose property it really is. The attorney outlined their limited paths forward, acknowledged my majority interest and retitle accordingly, or face loan acceleration, foreclosure proceedings, and civil claims for fraud and unjust enrichment. The room went quiet enough to hear the clock on the wall. They signed the agreement before lunch. The lake house transferred into a trust with me as sole managing trustee. The mortgage remained my responsibility, but now rent from any occupant was market rate, payable to me, with strict penalties for late payment. Rules in writing, finally. 6 weeks later, I arrived at dawn with coffee in a thermos. The water was glass calm, reflecting the pines I'd planted along the shore. I walked the dock I'd rebuilt plank by plank, feeling the familiar give under my weight. No victory dance. Just alignment, like a bone finally set. I still see their names when they call. I just don't answer. True reckoning rarely shouts. It arrives in certified mail and bank notifications. It speaks in dates and dollar amounts. It waits patiently for reality to catch up with stories people tell themselves. I locked the gate behind me, kept the only master key, and drove away as the sun cleared the ridge. The quiet that followed wasn't absence. It was ownership.